Good morning and welcome to New Hanover County Schools, The Morning Show. I'm Talfa Everett.
And I'm Michaela Sears. This is the week of October 6th through October 12th, and today's show is truly mythical.
That's right. Along with our wonderful features and segments, today we also take a look at Greek mythology, a topic everyone loves.
And in honor of Greek mythology, we'll take a journey to Greece in our segment Destinations. We'll see all the sights any tourist should see when visiting Athens.
Our show also features a career technical education highlight. This month, we take a look at the computer engineering program and all it has to offer.
Juniors and seniors preparing for college need to pay extra attention today during our College Bound segment. We'll go over 3 scholarships now accepting applications, so have your pen and paper ready.
We also have a new morning show feature on inventors. Each month, a different inventor will be spotlighted as well as their invention.
We have a packed show, but for now, it's time to swing over to the news desk and our news anchor, Dylan Grace. He's standing by with our first look at your school news headlines. Good morning, Dylan.
Good morning, Michaela and Taufa, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on The Morning Show. Topping the headlines this week, Blair Elementary celebrates World Peace Day, semifinalists announced by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation, and Virgo teacher named Middle School Physical Education Teacher of the Year. I will have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Dylan. We get things going today with a staple here on The Morning Show with the segment we call This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History, brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Samantha Klein, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of October 6th through the 12th. October 6th, 1866, the Reno Gang carries out the first robbery of a moving train in the U.S. They stole over $10,000 from an Ohio and Mississippi train in Jackson County, Indiana. Prior to this innovation in crime, holdups had taken place only in trains sitting at stations or freight yards. October 7th, 2001. A U.S.-led coalition begins attacks on Taliban-controlled Afghanistan with an intense bombing campaign by American and British forces. The invasion of Afghanistan was the opening salvo in the United States' war on terrorism and a response to the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks on New York and Washington. October 8th, 1919. The first transcontinental air race in the United States begins, with 63 planes competing in the round-trip aerial derby between California and New York. As 15 planes departed the Presidio in San Francisco, California, 48 planes left Roosevelt Field on Long Island, New York. October 9th, 1967. Socialist revolutionary and guerrilla leader Che Guevara is killed by the Bolivian army at the age of 39. The Bolivian forces, backed by the U.S. military, captured him on October 8th while battling his band of guerrillas in Bolivia. He was assassinated the following day. October 10th, 1780. A powerful storm slams the islands of the West Indies, killing more than 20,000 people. Known as the Great Hurricane of 1780, it was the deadliest storm ever recorded. Many of the deaths occurred at seas as ships had no advance warning. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. October 11th, 1793. The death toll from a yellow fever epidemic in Philadelphia hits 100. By the time it ended, 5,000 people were dead. Yellow fever, or the American plague as it was known at the time, is a viral disease that is carried and transferred by mosquitoes. October 12, 1492. After sailing across the Atlantic Ocean, Italian explorer Christopher Columbus sights a Bahamian island. Believing he has reached East Asia, his expedition went ashore the same day and claimed the land for Isabella and Ferdinand of Spain, who sponsored his attempt to find a Western Ocean route to China, India, and the fabled gold and spice islands of Asia. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Samantha Klein. Thanks for stopping by.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kidsville News, a fun and effective learning resource for teachers, children, and parents. It features school news, information, and local community events while promoting literacy and the development of good reading habits, character traits, and study skills in young children. And Kidsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to every elementary school in the New Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
Now don't go away, we'll be right back.
Did you know that you're Elmo's plan?
Your plan?
Yeah, Elmo's mommy said that if Elmo is too sick to go to school, the plan is that Elmo stays with Luisa Maria.
Oh, yes, we have that plan all in place.
Great!
You never know when your child will be too sick to go to school. So have a plan ready so your child can stay home and get healthy.
Luisa's the man, because he's Elmo's plan. The man, because he's Elmo's plan.
To learn more about preventing flu, visit flu.gov.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Talfa Everett.
And I'm Michaela Sears, and our show today features Greek mythology.
In Greek mythology, there is no single original text that introduces all of the myths, characters, and stories. Instead, the earliest Greek myths were a part of an oral tradition that began in the Bronze Age, and their plots and themes unfolded gradually in the written literature of the Archaic and Classical periods.
Around 700 BC, the poet's Historia Theogony offered the first written origin story of Greek mythology. It tells the story of the universe's journey from nothingness to being and details an elaborate family tree of gods and goddesses who evolved from chaos.
Today, we take a look at 15 of the major gods in Greek mythology in a special feature.
Zeus was the god of sky and ruler of the Olympian gods. Zeus overthrew his father Kronos. He is lord of the sky and the rain god. His weapon is a thunderbolt which he hurls at those who displease him. He is married to Hera but is famous for his many affairs. He is also known to publish those that lie or break oaths. Zeus, the great presiding deity of the universe, the ruler of heaven and earth, was regarded by Greeks first as the god of all aerial phenomena. Secondly, as the personification of the laws of nature. Thirdly, as lord of state life. And fourthly, as father of gods and men. Hera is the wife and sister of Zeus. She is the supreme goddess, goddess of marriage and childbirth, and takes care of married women. Hera's marriage was founded in strife with Zeus and continued in strife. Once, when Zeus was being particularly overbearing to the other gods, Hera convinced them to join in a revolt. She was punished by Zeus and swore never to rebel again. However, she regularly intervened against Zeus's plans and was able to outwit him often. Her sacred animals are the cow and the peacock. Poseidon is the god of sea and the protector of all waters. Poseidon is the brother of Zeus. He was widely worshipped by seamen. He married Amphitrite, a granddaughter of the Titan Oceanus. Poseidon created the first horse to impress the goddess Demeter. His weapon is a trident. He can shake the earth and shatter any object with it. He is second only to Zeus in power among the gods. He has a difficult, quarrelsome personality. He was greedy and had a series of disputes with other gods when he tried to take over their cities. Hades is the brother of Zeus. He is the Lord of the underworld, ruling over the dead. He is a greedy God who is greatly concerned with increasing his subjects. Those whose calling increase the number of dead are seen favorably by him. He is exceedingly disinclined to allow any of his subjects to leave. He is also the God of wealth due to the precious metals mined from the earth. He has a helmet that makes him invisible. He rarely leaves the underworld. He is unpitying and terrible, but not capricious. He is the king of the dead, but not death itself. Death itself is another god. Aphrodite is the goddess of love, desire, and beauty. In addition to her natural gifts, she has a magical girdle that compels anyone she wishes to desire her. There are two accounts of her birth. One says she is the daughter of Zeus and Dione. The other goes back to when Kronos castrated Uranus and tossed his severe genitals into the sea. Aphrodite then arose from the sea on a giant scallop, and she walked to shore in Cyprus. She is the wife of Hephaestus. The myrtle is her tree, the dove, the swan, and the sparrow are her birds. She represents sex, affection, and the attraction that binds people together. Athena is the Greek version goddess of reason, intelligent activity, arts, and literature. Athena is the daughter of Zeus. She sprang full-grown in armor from his forehead, thus has no mother. She is fierce and brave in battle, but only fights wars to defend the state and the home from outside enemies. She is the goddess of the city, handicrafts, and agriculture. She is the embodiment of wisdom, reason, and purity. She was Zeus's favorite child and was allowed to use his weapons, including his thunderbolt. Her favorite city is Athens, her tree is the olive, and the owl is her bird. Ares is the son of Zeus and Hera. He was disliked by both parents. He is the god of war. He often represents the physical or violent and untamed aspect of war, in contrast to Athena, who represents military strategy and generalship. He is considered murderous and bloodstained, but also a coward. His bird is the vulture. His animal is the dog. Apollo is the son of Zeus and Leto. His twin sister is Artemis. He is the god of music, playing a golden lyre. He is the archer, far shooting with a silver bow, the god of healing, who taught men medicine, the god of light, and the god of truth, who cannot speak a lie. One of Apollo's more important daily tasks is to harness his chariot with 4 horses and drive the sun across the sky. He is famous for his oracle at Delphi. People travel to it from all over the Greek world to divine the future. His tree is the laurel, his bird is the crow, and the dolphin is his animal. Artemis was the goddess of chastity, virginity, the hunt, the moon, and the natural environment. She is the daughter of Zeus and Leto. Her twin brother is Apollo. She is the lady of the wildlings. She is the huntsman of the gods. She is the protector of the young. Like Apollo, she hunts with silver arrows. She is also associated with the moon. She is a virgin goddess and the goddess of chastity. She also presides over childbirth. The cypress is her tree. All wild animals are sacred to her, especially the deer. Hermes is the cleverest of the Olympian gods and the messenger to all the other gods. He is the son of Zeus and Maia. He is Zeus's messenger. He is the fastest of the gods. He wears winged sandals, a winged hat, and carries a magic wand. He is the god of thieves and of commerce. He is a guide for the dead to the underworld. He invented the musical scale, astronomy, weights and measures, boxing, and gymnastics. He cares for the olive trees. Hephaestus is the son of Zeus and Hera. He is the only god to be physically ugly. He is also lame. Accounts as to how he became lame vary. Some say that Hera, upset by having an ugly child, flung him from Mount Olympus into the sea, breaking his legs. Others say that he took Hera's side in an argument with Zeus, and Zeus flung him off Mount Olympus. He is the god of fire and the forge. He is the smith and the armorer of gods. He uses a volcano as his forge. He is the patron god of both smiths and weavers. He is kind and peace-loving. His wife is Aphrodite. Dionysus is the son of Zeus and Semele. He is the only god to have a mortal parent. He was the god of fertility and wine, and later considered a patron of the arts. He invented wine and spread the art of tending grapes. He has a dual nature. On one hand, bringing joy and divine ecstasy. On the other, brutal, unthinking rage, thus reflecting both sides of wine's nature. If he chooses, Dionysus can drive a man mad. Hestia is the sister of Zeus. She is a virgin goddess. She does not have a distinct personality. She plays no part in myths. She is the goddess of the hearth, the symbol of the house around which a newborn child is cared for before it is received into the family. Each city had a public hearth sacred to Hestia, where the fire was never allowed to go out. Of all the Olympians, she is the mildest, most upright, and most charitable. Eros is the son of Aphrodite. He is the god of love, in particular erotic romantic love. He is often represented blindfolded because love is blind. His weapon is darts or arrows. In either case, the tips have been magically treated to produce either uncontrollable love or insurmountable disinterest in the first person seen after being wounded. Demeter is the goddess of corn, grain, and the harvest. It is Demeter that makes the crops grow each year. The first loaf of bread from the harvest is sacrificed to her. She is the goddess of earth, of agriculture, and of fertility in general. Sacred to her are livestock and agricultural products.
And there you have an overview of the major gods in Greek mythology.
Later in the show, we'll have more information, trivia, and an exciting game.
But for now, let's send it over to the news desk for more Your School News with Dylan Grace.
Good morning and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm Dylan Grace. Our top story this week, Blair Elementary faculty, staff, and students once again kicked off the school year with a celebration of World Peace Day. The World Peace Day, now called International Day of Peace, is celebrated each year in September and is dedicated to observing world peace. We get a full report on Blair Elementary's parade and activities from Luke Williams.
First celebrated in 1982, the goal of World Peace Day is to educate the community on world peace and to reduce conflict and war throughout the world. But as the students at Blair Elementary learned, Peace Day is as much about reducing violence in our homes, schools, and local communities as it is about civil and international wars. And as such, students play an important part in the campaign to reduce violence in all sectors of society around the globe. Dressed in the attire of many of our nation's peacekeepers, in the tie-dye look of the Generation of Peace, and in clothing that represents the diversity of the Blair Elementary family, students paraded around the school singing a special song of peace written by the music teacher. Also in attendance were parents and community members who came to support and learn how they can help maintain peace within their own community and what they can do as private citizens to promote peace. It was an exciting day for the students at Blair and one they won't soon forget.
It's about celebrating a free country, that we're a free country, and supporting our troops. We learned about how we are thankful and how we support our troops and everything.
This year's World Peace Day theme was titled Sustainable Peace for a Sustainable Future. To spread the word, students at Blair wrote their own inspirational quotes, created posters and flags. They learned how other people around the world celebrated peace through yoga, music, and fireworks. The Blair students also decided to get involved. They found an organization in India that needed books. So school-wide, they started collecting boxes and boxes of books. The school's goal is to collect over 1,000 books so they can send it to the Indian orphanage. Recognizing World Peace Day helps develop students' understanding of and interest in global peace building and develop their skills and capacities to act as peace builders. Reporting for Your School News, this is Luke Williams.
6 New Hanover County School students were among the 16,000 semifinalists announced by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation in the 60th Annual National Merit Scholarship Program. These academically talented high school seniors have an opportunity to continue in the competition for some 7,600 National Merit Scholarships worth about $33 million that will be offered next spring. The semifinalists from Hoggard High School are Luke D. Gu, Ryan J. Spurney, and Torrance Yang. From Isaac Bear Early College High School, Emma P. Bingham, and Tyler J. Dixon. The semifinalist from New Hanover High School is New Hanover High School student Megan L. Wood.
Yes. I felt honored to get the National Merit semifinalist, or to be nominated for that. And I was told by Miss Raspit during my AM class, she pulled me out of class to tell me and Luke, one of the other people who's a semifinalist at Hoggard. And it's exciting because not a lot of kids get to be a semifinalist in that. It's only, I think, 15,000. So yeah, very exciting.
To be considered for a Merit Scholarship Award, semifinalists must fulfill several requirements to advance to the finalist level of the competition. To become a finalist, the semifinalist and his or her high school must submit a detailed scholarship application in which they provide information about the semifinalist academic record, participation in school and community activities, demonstrated leadership abilities, employment, and honors and awards received. National Merit Scholarship winners of 2015 will be announced in April. 19 community members in support of the education bond, along with district staff, are making presentations to local organizations to better inform them about the bond referendum that will be on the November 4th ballot. Thus far, committee members have made presentations to several Wilmington Rotary Clubs, the Wilmington Civitan Club, the League of Women Voters, and the New Hanover County chapter of the NAACP, to name a few. When presenting, the committee members stressed the three major pieces of the bond: increased safety and security, meeting increased student enrollment, and modernizing technology and facilities. For more information about the education bond, visit the bond website at www.nhcs.net and click on the bright red apple. To schedule a bond presentation for your organization, contact the NHCS Public Relations Department at 910-254-4245. For all the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 191. For your school news, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Dylan. The mission of career technical education is to help empower students for effective participation in an international economy as world-class workers and citizens. They have a wide range of programs offered to both middle school and high school students. Today we take a look in depth at one of these programs. We travel to Hoggard High School and learn about the computer engineering program.
We teach computer engineering technology in this classroom. We have two levels. Level 1 deals mainly with hardware and a lot of theory and quite a bit of hands-on applications. And then in Level 2, we deal more with software, mainly Windows 7 and Windows 8, some Windows Server processes, and also Linux distribution of Ubuntu. CET1, the only prerequisite is to be at least in the 10th grade. I highly recommend that you've completed Algebra 1 because we do use a lot of math in the class. And also Biology 1 is going to be helpful because there's quite a bit of critical thinking skills that are involved in the classroom. Once you get through Level 1, you can move on to Level 2, where even more critical thinking skills are used, especially problem solving. And also this will prep you, Level 1 and Level 2 will prep you for taking the Cisco Academy networking classes. In Level 1 we use a QTL website and it has all the information there as you go through about 32 sections with small quizzes after each section to make sure the students comprehend the material. You start out basically mastering safety because you're dealing with electricity and dangerous, sometimes dangerous chemicals or equipment. And then you move on to how all the parts of the computer work and then how they all talk to each other. Also through the process you have a class assignment where you have to build the computer from scratch. Not actually, but you have to piece out and price each part to meet a customer's design for a gaming computer. That counts for 20% of your 9 weeks grade. After you've gone through that part, you'll start getting into some programs in Level 1, but nothing like you'll get into Level 2. When you get into Level 2, it's mainly dealing with software. You should already have the base knowledge of how all the hardware works. So you start getting into software and how the software interacts with the hardware, with a big emphasis on Windows 7 and now Windows 8 that we have out. We have lab computers here we've set up and built, and we have operating systems on all of them, and it's completely unrestricted like our school computers are. There's nothing locked down. It's pretty much free reign. The only thing is we can't put these on the school network. In the level 2 class, they're given a project of they have to do a oral and a visual presentation on a technology subject that they choose. It's given in the second 9 weeks. They have approximately 5 to 6 weeks to work on this project, and a lot of times it's getting them prepped, especially for their senior project when they have to get up in front of people and talk. The guidelines are quite liberal. They just need to get up and talk about some technology-related subject that they choose and be able to answer questions afterwards. At times it's pretty interesting because they come up with some really great topics they talk about.
Well, I think one of my favorite things we did was at the beginning of the semester was when we actually built the computers that we now work with. I really enjoyed that because it was more hands-on. We actually got to work and actually go in and see everything come together, and then if it was messed up, then we had to go back and fix it, but most of them turned out great. So I really enjoyed that because it was more of a hands-on thing. So.
CET1 and CET2 are also a great prep for students that would be interested in getting their A+ certification, an industry standard. A lot of the students that will take this course that are interested in computer technology will find it beneficial when they get into either computer repair and upgrade, if they just want to tweak their own system at home, if they decide to get involved in computer programming or computer engineering and design systems. These 2 classes are a very strong foundation for getting into those careers in higher education levels.
CET1 was really good because it kind of gives you a general grasp of everything, and it helps you understand more of the internal work of it all. And then CET2 we had more hands-on. We built our own computers, and then redid network cables, which is it's a fun time to do. But it was in general, it's a lot of fun, and it's enjoyable if you like the technology of it all.
If someone was interested in taking the class, I would tell them to go for it because it definitely helps you not only like with school, and it definitely gives you a better view on like the different amount of work that you can do for different classes, but it'll definitely help you at home whenever you use a computer because you learn things like if something breaks on your computer, you could probably figure out what happened and what you could do to fix it.
By the time I get to having the level 2 students like I have in here now, it's a very tight group of students that work together. A lot of free thinking goes on, a lot of expressing different ideas and stuff, and it's a much more conducive environment to learning and also finding out the applications that can be used in the real world, and also the interactions of people.
Well, it doesn't have a lot of people, so it's easier to get focused. It's easier to kind of connect with everyone and make great friends and everything like that, as well as learning the information and everything. It's not hard, but it does require a lot more of you remembering, what is what, the acronyms and all kinds of things like that. It's just generally it's a lot of fun for anyone who loves technology or anything.
If the student's interested in this program, they can get more information either by going to the CTE teacher or the guidance counselors, and they would give them excellent recommendations if they're prepared to take this class. It's not an easy class, but you'll learn a lot.
If you would like to learn more about the Health Science Program or any of New Hanover County Schools CTE programs, visit the website www.nhcs.net/workforce or call their office at 254-4241.
Now don't go away. This Footborn edition of the morning show will continue right after this break. But before we go, we have our trivia question of the day. Since our show today is all about Greek mythology, our question is too.
There are many heroes and demigods we have all heard about from Greek mythology. Names like Perseus, Hercules, Achilles, and Odysseus are common, and we have all heard or seen of their stories.
Our trivia question focuses on a lesser-known demigod, which in Greek mythology is the common term for someone with one human parent and one parent who's a god. They are also known as the Greek heroes.
Our question today revolves around the hero Bellerophon, and it asks, When Bellerophon tried to ride Pegasus to Mount Olympus, what happened? He was rewarded with God's statue and joined them upon arrival. B, he got lost and flew too close to the sun. C, Pegasus was stung by a gadfly and threw him into the ground. Or D, Pegasus refused to let him ride, so he tried to climb Mount Olympus.
Stay tuned. We'll have the correct answer when we return.
I know, 2 seconds. Hang on, just stand still. Stand still, love. 1 second. I know. Just
He's
okay, go, go, go. No. Boys, hang on, boys.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back to the morning show. This week, the Greek mythology takes center stage.
Bellerophon was the son of Poseidon and a human. He was raised by his mother and her human husband and grew fondness with horses, which led to his quest for Pegasus.
After many attempts, he was successful at finding Pegasus, and a whole new journey began for Bellerophon. Ultimately, he decided to try to use Pegasus to reach Mount Olympus.
Our trivia question today asks, when Bellerophon tried to ride Pegasus to Mount Olympus, what happened? A, he was rewarded with god status and joined them upon arrival. B, he got lost and flew too close to the sun. C, Pegasus was stung by a godfly and threw him to the ground. Or D, Pegasus refused to let him ride, so he tried to climb to Mount Olympus. Take a moment and think about it. If you guessed C, Pegasus was stung by a godfly and threw him to the ground, you're correct.
Bellerophon's story provides a lesson in the proper relationship between a mortal hero and the gods. When he was young, he honored the gods and won their favor, but then his pride got the better of him and led to his downfall.
After many achievements, including killing the terrible Chimera beast and making Pegasus his mount, Bellerophon becomes a king who is honored and loved.
It seems Bellerophon will live happily ever after. However, his arrogance gets the best of him. He decides to try and ride Pegasus to Mount Olympus to visit the gods. Zeus ends his journey by sending the gadfly to sting Pegasus. Bellerophon survives his fall to earth, but is left crippled.
Bellerophon's story is like many Greek hero stories, filled with adventure, mythical creatures, and occasional poor decision which leads to doom.
To learn more about Bellerophon's story, you can read it in the Iliad, Book 6.
Much of what we learned about Greek mythology has come from archaeology, and our next segment is all about archaeology. Archaeologists study past human life and culture through the recovery of examination of remaining material evidence. Using artifacts, inscriptions, monuments, and other remains, they paint a picture of the past. In many cases, that picture tells a story. We have one of those amazing stories from our friends at the Archaeology Channel. This week, they take us all the way to Alexandria, Egypt, to show us the underground network originally designed as a water system.
Alexandria on the north coast of Egypt. Since the foundation of the town in 331 BC, all drinking water has been brought from the Nile, some 30 kilometers away. To do that, a canal ran right to the gates of the town. And then, to distribute this water, there was an ingenious system of underground channels. For 8 centuries, Alexandria developed around with the aid of these channels, until the tsunami of 365. Some centuries later, the inhabitants of Alexandria put in place a new water system based upon cisterns.
One can walk with ease in these cisterns as if in the midst of superb colonnades. They are still of a surprising extent. People who enter at one end of the town make their exit at the other.
Voyagers visiting Alexandria from antiquity onwards talk of these cisterns with admiration. How many were there? It is difficult to know precisely. The scholars of Bonaparte's Egyptian expedition counted 400 still in use. In the 19th century, the Egyptian astronomer Mahmoud al-Falaki wrote of 700 cisterns. However, by the beginning of the 1990s, there was only one that could still be visited. And then, suddenly, a new avenue opened up. The director of the Greco-Roman Museum of Alexandria handed over a load of archives that had lain untouched and unopened in the vaults for decades. These files held plans, sections, and location map sketches of some 140 public cisterns throughout the town. This work had been drawn up by a certain Mr. Camille at the end of the 19th century. Salvage excavations undertaken by the Centre d'études Alexandrines uncovered wells and cisterns in the residential quarters. In the Roman period, several large urban projects led to the construction of new reservoirs. They were no longer cut out of the rock, but were built of masonry. These first cisterns of square-fired brick were still of modest volume, like that of the Serapeum in the imperial period. However, in the 4th century AD, with the establishment of the baths of Kom el-Dika, the inhabitants of Alexandria again developed the layout of the cisterns. The walls were lighter, allowing more storage space. In the 9th century, the Toulonese occupied Alexandria. The first great cisterns, built on more than one level, connected to underground channeling, were set up. From the foundation of Alexandria to the medieval period, the shape of the cisterns has evolved radically. The medieval cisterns, veritable underground cathedrals, were built using the remains of the ancient city. Sections of columns, capitals, bases, and other reused pieces of granite or marble. The pillars are joined by arches of cut stone, ensuring the cohesion of the ensemble and giving the impression of different stories. At the end of the 19th century, Pasteur's discoveries regarding germ theory and bacteriology signaled the end of the cisterns. Endemic dysentery and other epidemics were too easily spread by this system.
We hope you enjoyed that interesting story from the Archaeology Channel. We'll feature another great story next month here on The Morning Show.
Alright, it's time now for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for October 6th through Monday, October 13th.
On Monday, October 6th, shake off those Monday morning blues at lunch with an all-American cheeseburger or a grilled cheese sandwich. The meal's not complete until you pile on French fries, a garden salad, and an icy frozen fruit cup for dessert.
Then on Tuesday, October 7th, sit down for a wonderful meal of either beef tacos with Spanish rice or fish nuggets with corn. Also take pleasure in a bread muffin, barbecue pinto beans, a garden salad, and fresh fruit.
On Wednesday, October 8th, you won't want to miss out on lunch, as your cafeteria will be serving a delightful grilled chicken sandwich or cheesy breadsticks. Also be sure to add tomato and cucumber salad, a garden salad, and an apple crisp to your plate for a belly-filling meal.
On Thursday, October 9th, embark on a delicious journey by treating yourself with either a chicken quesadilla with Spanish rice or a BLT sandwich with cheese cubes. Complete your awesome meal with succulent sweet potato, garden salad, and fresh fruit.
Then, on Friday, October 10th, celebrate the coming weekend with a hog dog with chili or a turkey and cheese hoagie. Don't forget to add macaroni salad, baked beans, carrot sticks, a garden salad, and spiced apples to your plate to make a fantastic meal.
Finally, on Monday, October 13th, energize yourself with slam dunk spaghetti with a breadstick or a chicken filet sandwich. Accompany your Monday meal with delicious broccoli, a garden salad, and sweet delicious diced peaches.
And there you have the lunch menu for the week.
Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
In our next segment, we connect with our Greek mythology theme by taking a journey to Athens, Greece, and destinations.
Each month we feature a different travel destination and highlight unique features on what to do and what to see. Live vicariously through the segment or take notes and plan your next vacation. The choice is yours, but either way, join us as we head off to Athens, Greece.
Tired of taking the same vacation over and over again? If you're looking for excitement, then look no further than the city of Athens. Located in Greece, Athens is full of famous landmarks, and an exciting culture draws countless tourists every year. With its reputation for beautiful landscapes and exciting tourist attractions open all day and night, it's easy to see why. When you think of Athens, Greece, the ruins are probably the first thing that come to mind, and for good reason. Athens is full of historic ruins from ancient Greece, including the Acropolis, the Parthenon, and the Temple of Zeus. All of these fantastic ruins are located around the city, so you won't have to travel far to see these huge pieces of history. If you want a break from the city life, visit the National Garden, Athens' downtown tropical rainforest. You can kick back and relax in the midst of trees, flowers, other plants from all over the world, and lots of ducks. There's also a small zoo located in the garden that features animals from around the globe. On your adventure through Athens, you'll probably see Mount Lycabettus coming out of the ground and think, I really hope there's nothing interesting up there because I don't feel like climbing a mountain. But there is something great up there, an amazing, relaxing view of the city, as well as a great cafe and amphitheater. If you're not up for a mid-morning or late afternoon hike, there's also a funny-looking train that will take you straight to the top, so there's no excuse not to visit. After the sun goes down, the place to be is Syri. Though there are other growing nightlife neighborhoods, Syri is the best. Syri is the place to experience Grecian-style nightlife, food, and music. With countless shops and clubs, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Keep Athens in mind when you're planning your next vacation. It will definitely be an exciting trip that everyone enjoys and remembers for the rest of their lives.
For more information on a trip to Athens, you can visit the site www.greece-athens.com.
And join us next month as we'll feature another sensational destination.
Now, as we head to a break, we have another morning show first. We have covered philosophers and musicians so far this month, and today we add inventors to the list.
Here is a brief feature on an important inventor. Each month, we will bring you a different inventor and their discoveries.
Each of these segments were written and produced by high school seniors.
Here's today's inventor, Robert Watson Watt.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Sir Robert Watson Watt invented the radar, or radio detection and ranging, was born in Brechin, Scotland on April 13, 1892, and graduated from the University of St. Andrews in 1912. The young meteorologist began working at the Royal Aircraft Factory at Farnborough, hoping to find a way to locate thunderstorms using radio waves. He hoped to alert pilots if there was one nearby. Watson Watt quickly realized that there needed to be a way to easily record and display radio signals. To continue his research, he left the aircraft factory and moved to Slough, where the Radio Research Station formed in 1927. He soon became the superintendent of National Physics Laboratory, or NPL. Then, in 1935, with the help of his assistant Arnold Wilkins, He wrote the detection of aircraft by radio messages and secretly carried out trial tests with the Air Ministry using a short radio transmitter. Following these successes, in 1939, Watson Watt's team was responsible for inventing a radar defense system which was built around the coast of Britain. It played a big part in taking down the German Luftwaffe in World War II. He eventually became president of the Royal Meteorological Society and was even awarded the United States of America Medal of Merit. He died on December 5th, 1973, but will forever be remembered as the pioneer of radar.
Every trip, every time. California, here I come! Buckle up so you and your friends get home safely.
I must scream it to the world from the top of someplace very high.
Seatbelts save lives.
Okay.
Visit NHTSA.gov.
Low and slow.
Best friend, what are you gonna do?
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
That is spectacular advice.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Telfa Everett. Our next segment is College Bound 411. College Bound 411 is dedicated to helping students achieve their dream of attending college. We provide practical and timely information for students so they can compete effectively for college admission. We also clue you in on the latest in scholarship information, so get out that pen and paper.
Welcome to this month's edition of College Bound 411. If you are planning to go to college, then you need to start learning about scholarships. Scholarships are gifts. They don't need to be repaid. You earn them by meeting or exceeding certain standards set by a scholarship giver. They might be awarded based on academic achievement or a combination of academics and a special talent, trait, or interest. Other scholarships are based on financial need. Each month here in College Bound 411, we offer you a list of 3 scholarships which you may be able to apply for. This month we feature the North Carolina Education Lottery Scholarship. This scholarship was created in 2005 to help needy students pay for school. The value of the scholarship varies based on the information supplied on the application, but it can range from $100 to $3,100. For eligibility of this scholarship, you have to be a North Carolina resident, enroll for at least 6 credit hours in a curriculum program, and meet the satisfactory academic progress requirements. For the application process, students must complete the free application for federal student aid and can be completed right on their website at www.fafsa.gov. The deadline for this scholarship varies. Another scholarship available is the Gerald Shin UNCW Alumni Association Merit Scholarship. Each year, the UNCW Alumni Association awards scholarships to incoming freshmen. For this particular scholarship, you must have a minimum grade point average of 3.4 or higher. Applications for 2015 through 2016 will be available beginning November 1st and run through March 31st. To find more information about other scholarships funded by the UNCW Alumni Association, visit uncw.edu/alumni, then click on the scholarships link. Another scholarship is the Duke Energy Power Careers Program in the Carolinas. This is a program that helps students enrolled at an eligible community college. Selected students are eligible for temporary part-time paid employment at a designated power plant. To be eligible for the scholarship, which provides students with $650 a semester, a student must fill out an application. They must be nominated by a community college or high school faculty member. They also must maintain a GPA of at least 3.2. The deadline for this scholarship is December 31st. For more information, visit www.duke-energy.com/careers/power-careers.asp. And finally, our College Bound tip of the month. Take required courses. Make sure that you have completed all the required courses in high school and received the credits for your transcript. It is very important to take the recommended high school courses to meet the minimum requirements for most colleges. There is nothing worse than thinking you are finally finished with school, then realizing that you haven't completed enough credits to move on to college. That would be a real bummer in the mindset of a college-bound person. That's College Bound 411 for this month, to help you plan, prepare, and pay for college. Check out www.cfnc.org. College Foundation is a free service of the state of North Carolina that helps students plan, apply, and pay for college. CFNC is a partnership of Pathways, the NC State Education Assistance Authority, and College Foundation, Incorporated.
If you're college bound, be sure to communicate with counselors and potential colleges to confirm specific dates for application deadlines as well as course requirements.
It's time now for more Your School News on the Morning Show. Let's send it back over to our news anchor, Dylan Grace.
Thank you, Talfa and Michaela, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on the Morning Show. Rebecca Clark, physical education and health teacher at Virgo Preparatory Academy and New Hanover County Schools Middle School Teacher of the Year, has been selected as the 2014 Middle School Physical Education Teacher of the Year by North Carolina Physical Education Association of North Carolina Alliance for Athletics, Health, Physical Education, Recreation, Dance, and Sports Management.
Well, you know, honestly, from 8th grade, I knew I wanted to be a coach. For some apparent reason, I always wanted to be a coach, and I think for myself, I just had teachers that were very inspirational to me.
Very good.
I think it didn't really hit me until my sophomore year in college. So I really wanted to really go into helpful living because I was going into education, special education first, and then things kind of changed, and I kind of went to my profession, and that's kind of how.
This award reflects Ms. Clark's outstanding qualities and contributions as a professional physical educator. Her ability and efforts truly make a difference in the lives of her students. Mrs. Clark will receive her award and be honored at the 66th Annual Alliance Convention in the Raleigh later this fall. It's been an exciting time at Carolina Beach Elementary School. Students in Ms. Shreve's class presented short plays and stories on the front porch of the school. Plays included The Rhyming Pied Piper, 12 Angry Pigs, and Chicken Little. On hand to help the students with their productions were Readers Theater interns from UNCW, who worked with the students in small groups. The UNCW students helped the young performers to compare and contrast the various elements of their productions. They also helped them in producing their plays and understanding a variety of theater styles. In another part of the school, the Carolina Beach Elementary Sea Stars Book Club prepared book jacket posters to help them learn all about this year's selections in the elementary Battle of the Books. Students studied names, authors, and even discussed many of the plots. That's all for now. To watch this week's edition of Your School News online, visit the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV logo on the homepage. Now back over to Talfa and Michaela.
Thanks, Dylan. Now, to end today's show, we have an exciting new morning show game titled the Achilles Challenge.
It sounds like a tough one.
It probably is. Let's send it back over to Dylan, who will explain the rules.
Thank you, Talfa and Michaela. I do indeed have the rules. Each of you will get 5 questions about Greek mythology to answer. For every answer you get right, you will receive 1 arrow on screen. Then in round 2 of the contest, you will attempt to shoot an arrow into Achilles' heel. You will get 1 attempt for each arrow you earn in round 1. The first person to hit the heel wins. If no one hits the heel, the closest shot will count. Okay, contestants, are you ready? Since you each get the same number of questions, we'll start with Talfa. You can track your score on the board you see on screen. Okay, Talfa. Who was the leader of the Greek gods? A. Zeus, B. Hera, C. Apollo, or D. Hades?
A.
You are correct. All right, Michaela. What powerful god lived in the underworld rather than on Mount Olympus? A. Athena, B. Demeter, C. Hades, or D. Poseidon?
C. Hades.
You are correct. All right, Talfa. Who was the patron god of theater and art? A. Dionysus, B. Demeter, C. Artemis, or D. Hera?
C.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was A. Dionysus. All right, Michaela. Which description below best describes the god Poseidon? A, god of archery and music, B, god of commerce and thieves, C, the god of war, or D, god of the ocean and horses?
D, god of ocean and horses.
You're correct. All right, Taufa. What famous structure in Greek mythology was built by a man named Epius? A, the Parthenon, B, the Trojan horse, C, the great bow, or D, the labyrinth?
B.
You're correct. According to legend, Epius was a skilled woodworker commissioned by Odysseus to build the huge gift horse. All right, Michaela. The myths served many functions for the Greek. Which of the following purposes did they not serve? Literature, functioning as entertainment and pure fantasy. B, science, explaining the mechanics of the physical world. C, prophecy, showing how the world will end. Or D, religion, explaining the role of gods and morality in everyday life.
B?
I'm sorry, the correct answer was C, prophecy, showing how the world will end. All right, Taufa. Which of the following does Hercules not accomplish? A, killing the Nemean lion. B, saving Theseus from Hades. C, killing the Caladian bear. Or D, cleaning the Ogden stables.
D.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was C, killing the Caladian bear. All right, Michaela. What mythological beast has the head of a man, the body of a lion, and the tail and feet of a dragon? A, a manticore, B, the minotaur, C, a centaur, or D, the chimera?
A?
You are correct. All right, Taufa. In Greek mythology, who was the queen of the underworld and wife of Hades? A, Hera, B, Athena, C, Aphrodite, or D, Persephone?
D.
You are correct. All right, Michaela, last question. Who is Charon? God of sleep, ferryman of the underworld, guardian of the seas, or the father of Gaia and Uranus?
Father of Gaius and Uranus?
I'm sorry, the correct answer was B, ferryman of the underworld. Okay, that is all the questions we have. Taufa has earned 3 arrows and Michaela has earned 3 arrows. We're going to take a quick break while we set up for round 2. We'll be right back.
What state am I?
I receive an average of 4 inches of rain and snow annually. The U.S. government owns 85% of my land for military purposes. Tourism is the prime source of income for my state. Do you know who I am? If you've guessed Nevada, you're right. I received statehood in 1864.
This United States factoid has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Welcome back to the morning show. And after round 1 of our game, Taufa won 3 attempts and Michaela won 3 attempts. You tied, so you each have 3 attempts to shoot the arrow at Achilles' heel, and we flipped a coin, and Taufa, you won, so you get to go first. And we will rotate from there. Remember, a bullseye will win it. Good luck. A little bit short. All right, Michaela. It's got to stick for the arrow to count.
Just grab it, Taufa.
Taufa, just grab it and come across. Just notch the arrow.
You think it's right? Or do you know it's right?
All right, first hit. right, Taufa, only one to get on the board. Take the arrow. Good try, Michaela. No one hit Achilles' heel, but Taufa had the closest shot and is our winner. Well, that does it for this edition of The Morning Show. Remember, for the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here for New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.